and she was in Slasher Weekend, and The Bite, and a lot of the features for done stuff for Phil Hermini, for Dustin Hubbard, for Nicole's sake. She was in Like Animators, so she's done a lot of stuff too. And these are people I like to to say something out to, that they've worked really hard, they know their craft, and they do a good job. And I like to be able to call out to them and say, hey, you've done a great job, and you're good at what you do. Another one is in Tim Rinder's Hess, which is a short we did. And Russ Isles is in that. Marcus Kempton is actually director, but he also picked up an acting role. Warner Jock, he picked up an acting role in Hess. Kathy was also in Hess, along with myself. James Knowlton was in Hess, another person that does an awesome job. Anytime I need a acting role, James Knowlton is one that's a very good actor and can pretty much take on any role. Thumbs is one of the stories I put on the Paranormal Club. It was by William Graffet, and William Graffet, if you don't know who that is, he did Stanley back in the 70s, and he did Mako Jaws of Death, and Curse of the Black Tartu, and the one with William Shatner was Impulse with William Shatner. William Graffet and I became friends when Annie Lolino had me introduce him at the Tampa Theater, but also I met him at the Curse of the Black Tartu at in Ybor, and then interviewed him, and then I shot Bull. You shot the video with me. That was with William Graffet.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
yes.
We did that together. And then we did this movie Thumbs. It's a short. Rick Danford and Andy Lolino were the producers, and I did it for Bill Graffet. He's really happy with my performance, which I was happy about, because here I'm working for the guy that did Mako Jaws of Death and Stanley and all these great movies from the past. So and then that's where I talked about Mirror Mirror, Rick Danford's Mirror Mirror. I asked Rick, I said, hey, if you send me the short, I'll put it on the release of Paranormal Club. And he was like, yeah, that'd be cool, man. So it's something I did to have an extra feature, but I could have put my own stuff on there. I could have been really greedy about it and said, I'm just going to put all my shorts on there. But I wanted to help other people, and that's what I did. So I got Mirror Mirror on there, Rick Danford's horror short, which is really good. And then Doggo by Dr. Greg Lasar. I did a short for him called Doggo years ago. And within the last year or so, he goes, Joel, this is my gift to you. He sent me a bunch of DVDs, and I asked him about putting it on there. He goes, I'd love it. And he goes, that's yours to do what you want with. So Doggo is also on the Paranormal Club release. And these are all extras on it. It's not only do you get the Paranormal Club, you're getting all these shorts along with it, because there's 2 different versions of the disc, and you can get these different movie shorts on each one. Then Table of Death was the next thing. I asked Rick Danford, I go, what about Glenn Register? Do you think he'd like to have, Table of Death released, all over the country, all over the world? And he's like, yeah, I'll get in touch with him. So he got in touch with him, and Glenn was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So also put his short, Table of Death, which, yeah, and then the other thing is I'm in a lot of these. I'm in Doggo, I'm in Table of Death, I'm in Thumbs. Mirror Mirror I'm not in. Like I said, I did that for Rick because he's a friend, and because horror, and it really matched with the Paranormal Club.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you for a moment?
Yes.
We are live. We are streaming live.
Wow.
I found a secondary backup to go live.
We're a little late, but we're live
now. Chewy Rock says, hi, Joel.
Hey, how you doing?
Helen Bond.
Hi, Helen.
Says, audio good.
Oh, Helen, thank you.
So we are officially live with the Joel Wynkoop Show, only on Bulls Radio Lounge.
Right at the end. We were dead before. Now we're live.
Yeah. So just look up on YouTube.com. Just search Bulls Radio Lounge, and you'll see Joel Wynkoop live. So anyways, you were saying.
Yes, but thank you for joining us live. That's awesome. How did that happen?
The magic of broadcasting.
Because we couldn't do that before.
I got it, buddy.
We were dead before.
I got you.
Now we're alive.
I got
we're
you
like
back.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Now
we're live.
Living dead. Okay. Anyway, and then Paint for Her, which was didn't really fit with the Paranormal Club, but I had just done that movie short for Warner Jock, and it was really good. He just put it together, and I gave him the same thing. I said, Warner, would you like me to release this on the Paranormal Club. It's going to be all over the place. You get your work out there. You get to be seen. And he was like, definitely, yes, that'd be awesome. So that's how I kind of, just like I said, trying in this, it's so hard in this film industry to just do something on your own. And it's just, sometimes you kind of want to like, no, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to, but it's nice to help other people. So you want to reach out and help some people. So that's how I kind of feel like I want to be able to help my fellow filmmaker. Just some other shout outs I wanted to give to were Dustin Hubbard and Seb Godin. They did Ouija Mummy and Like Animator and
Ouija Mummy,
H versus J, and what? Oh yeah, and Frightmares is coming up. That my wife Kathy has a role in. That she's going to be in that, and I think Dynagore is coming up. And I think I mentioned Like Animator and Ouija Mummy were picked up by Wild Eye Releasing. And then there's my buddy Phil Herman in New York City. Phil and I actually met through an article in a magazine back in, I think it was 90, might have been 91, 92. It was called Independent Video. And Phil had a story in there the same time that I had a story in there about Lost Faith. And I just called and found out where he was. Somehow I can't remember. I don't know if they had his phone number. But we didn't have internet in those days.
Yeah.
So I just called him, got a hold of him, found out where the phone number was somehow, called him, said, hey man, do you do these things? Are you big time, basically I was saying, or you do these things like Tim and I do? And he's like, nah, we do movies like you guys. So Phil Herman and I, we became very good friends. And he's done work for me, and I've done work for him in his movies. Now he's done a movie called Burglar from Hell, Tales Till the End, Jacker 1 and Jacker 2, Wrong Side of Town. And then we've been collaborating, like we did Always Midnight 2, and a lot of collaboration with him and Seb and Dustin Hubbard. Also Kelly Helen Thompson. She did, the first time I met her, a friend of mine, Michael Pelaez, was in my television show The Other Side. And I put him in that. He goes, I got a friend of mine, her name's Kelly, and she wants to be in your TV show. And I go, bring her, we're shooting tomorrow. So she showed up, we put her in a scene. It was very brief. I told him it's going to be very brief because I've got this planned out, but I can throw a person into it. And I want to be helpful, want to help somebody out. So I put Kelly Helen Thompson in The Other Side. And then she became a filmmaker. She started doing little shorts. And then before you know it, she's doing The Assignment 2, One by One. And then finally Lefty Lucy, along with Steve Balowitz. And Tim Ritter, of course, my partner, my good friend from years ago. I watched him when he was like 8 years old for his mom and dad. And I kind of credit myself for getting Tim into the film industry because I put him in my little Robin movie. My nephew is Robin, and I needed a bad guy, so I got the neighbor kid, which is Tim Ritter. And Tim gave me his dinosaur for one of my dinosaur movies. And then after that time, we were separated for about 10 years because I moved away. And when I came back and got together with Tim again, he was just releasing a movie called Day of the Reaper on Super 8. So I'm hoping that he credits me for starting him in the movie business. And then, of course, Tim Ritter and I went on to do Truth or Dare and Killing Spree and Wicked Games and Creep and on and on and on. Todd Sheets, I knew about Todd Sheets when we were doing movies way back in Truth or Dare. I think Killing Spree, we were starting to read about Todd. Todd was doing stuff. So Todd's done a whole bunch of movies, and I met him, 6 years ago. And one of the first things he said, he goes, I got to get you in one of my movies one of these times. Right. And it finally happened with Clownado, which is coming out soon with Wild Eye Releasing. And, of course, Nick Naylor. I've known Nick Naylor for years, working on his movie right now, The Connection. And Rod Grant, I said earlier, he worked with me on Chris Woods' dark comedy, and Rod had me in his movie, Mr. Engagement. And then Chris Woods and Sean Donahue, I've known those guys for years. Sean is president of Gator Blade Films. He did the movie with Chris Woods, Descort Service. There's Descort Service 1, 2, and 3. And then Die Delta Die. And Delta Die, yep. And then American Holocaust, especially by Chris Woods. Well, that was Chris Woods, John Miller. But all these guys deserve a shout out. And Marcus Kempton. Marcus Kempton I've worked with years. But the most recent thing we did was Tim Ritter's Hess. Marcus and I worked together on that. We worked together on Nakota. What else was on there? The Hammer, the Hammer short, which is actually called Peace, Love, Unity, Retribution. Tim Ritter's has Nakota. What? Oh yeah, and Battlesuit, which a lot of the same players. James Nolan was back in a role in that. We had both the Lindas, Linda Van Fleet and Linda Fix. Kathy Wynkoop was in it. Battlesuit, Kathy plays my wife. We had to really work on that for a long time to get the chemistry down to be husband and wife. Yeah. So, but yeah, these are the people I like to give shout outs. I like to let people know that their work means something, that they're wanted in this business. I also mention them because, I think it's they do a good job and they deserve to be mentioned. And there's probably some people I'm missing. Can you think of anybody I'm missing? Just shout it out. Not offhand, but I know there's some that I'm hungry to. Yeah.
We're good.
But I just wanted to give that out. That's our shout outs.
Right.
A lot of talented people in the area, and love to have them in my productions and use them in the past, and they do great jobs, and I hope I remembered everybody.
So this has been a very long journey.
Yeah.
A very fun journey. We've learned a lot of stuff.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Oh, one more stuff.
I'm sorry. Richard Mogg with Analog Nightmares.
Okay.
He released this book.
Uh-huh.
It's huge. It's over 500 pages. I also have like 5 copies of that left. If you want to get in touch with me on Facebook, you can pick that up. But it's got all the independent releases from the 80s to 95, I think.
Uh-huh.
And that 500 pages of independent movies. So that's Richard Mogg, Analog Nightmares. It's awesome. You can get it from Richard. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from me.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
The Joel Wynkoop Show. We have a live camera right here, Joel, that you can look at.
Live. Not dead.
Not dead, but live. The rest of the show will be up here shortly. Once, I do my thing in post. Then we're back next Friday, right?
Absolutely.
Next Friday? So
as Stallone once said to his wife, absolutely. Or to Paulie. Paulie, why are you getting so mentally irregular?
This is the Joel Wynkoop Show, only on Bulls Radio Lounge. Next Friday, Jonas, around 7 o'clock, yeah?
You want to do
7 o'clock
7?
sounds good?
7's fine with me.
You want to do 7?
7.
Yeah. We'll start.
We'll get all our tech stuff out.
Pre-show done at 6:30. Does that work for you?
Yeah. Call me when you get everything going.
Oh, you're not going to be here?
No, I'll stay home watching episodes of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I'm 68.
The talent's going to come in last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you, buddy. All right, so this is the Joel Wynkoop Show, only on Bulls Radio Lounge.
With a little bit of lowrider.
That's right. So when you look us up, just go to youtube.com, just search Bulls Radio Lounge, and you'll find the Joel Wynkoop Show starring Joel Wynkoop himself, Bull the bartender on Tuesday nights, and then another show that's going to be in development here soon.
You got to build the menu.
That's right. We're going to build this channel, my friend.
That's right.
And make it great. We're going to make this channel great again.
Or at least pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, anything else, Joel?
Nah, that's it. We'll see you next Friday.
All right, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you for our studio audience, truly rocks. Kathy Wynkoop. Thank you for the 2 listeners that are listening. Thank you to True Rocks for chiming in as well from our live studio audience.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, thank you from, her name was Helen something?
Helen
Thank
Bond.
you, Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
Bond.
Thank you.
I promise you it'll get better.
Thanks. Yes, we promise it'll get better.
We just ran out of music.
We'll get you in earlier.
Oh, here we go. Start again.
Da, 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 da,
There we
da,
go.
da, da,
Some
da.
low rider for you. The Joel Wynkoop Show.
All right, I got to go eat. Bye.
All right. Join us next week. Thank you so much. Back next week on Friday.
Back to you. Woo!
You're still live, by the way.
We're still live.
Oh, you're still live.
Oh, you're still live. Keys, stomach, money, food.
Hold on. Just keep on doing it.
Keep on doing it. We don't know where we're gonna go. It's not an Applebee's night because it's a quarter to, I think it's 11, and it's not an Applebee's night. But I really didn't mean McDonald's. Well, I was thinking more of a Taco Bell night or something like that.
Wynkoop. I'm starving.
I'm starving. You know where I got that from? Got that from Crystal Water. Because Mike French, if you're watching this, he would come in off of his route. I'd already be off my route. And my my box would be here with, drinks and water, and because you're on the route all day, 9 hours of the day on the route. And Frenchie would come in and go, Wynkoop,